Hey, so you want to call people the gold digger? No, she's not a gold digger. She's in survival mode. So the beginning of time, women has had this bad rep, even Eve. And we come to find out that story wasn't true. It was all a devised plan against the divine feminine. And all these lies was told against Eve and whatever, okay? So what I'm realizing that women has had this bad rep because the divine masculine is scared of them. So now I'm looking back and I'm thinking about when I was growing up, and my grandmother was a little raw, you know what I'm saying? She used to say stuff like, oh, he just a man, you know? And I'd be like, just a man? It's like, is that an excuse? What is that? So I started to think about some things, you know what I'm saying? And it comes up every now and then, but that just a man just stayed with me. So she used to tell me stories about how my great-grandfather went on the other side of town and started a family. She used to tell me about these men who would have women at home with all these kids, and he'll say he had work or he had to go out of town for work, and he'd be with a whole nother woman and a whole nother family. It's just a lot. So at this time, I'm feeling like the divine masculine is playing the wolf. He playing the wolf. He been the wolf for quite some time, okay? So now, I'm a teenager, and my household is a little crazy, and I see my aunties, my mother, like all these women in my life go through these things with a man. It was only a few of them that was actually happy. You know what I'm saying? So when I became a teenager, see, I'm moving around a little bit. I'm running across other people that's in survival mode, other women that's in survival mode, teenagers, men, they're in survival mode too because of what they seen. And after a while, you become hypersensitive to people, especially if you take a loss. So one of my losses was my best friend, losing my best friend. Then it was I lost my dad, and that made me very hyper aware of who was for me and who wasn't for me, or who was really paying attention, who really cared, who really was taking the time, who really wasn't taking the time. And you have to adjust. So my mentality was, I can only trust me. I can't. Only person that can let me down is me. Only person that can hurt me is me. So that's survival mode. Then, so if you aware of things, you see things, you see a lot of things. So, and a few people noticed that I was aware of a lot of things, and they would come get me or come ask me or stop me and ask me my perspective on things. And 9 times out of 10, I was right. And sometimes they would pay me for knowing this information in a lot of different ways. It didn't always have to be money. It would be favors, furniture, just a whole bunch of things, okay, for the information. And so I used to work at this flower shop, right? And Valentine's Day rolled around. And I noticed that these men would come in and buy several bouquets of roses for different women. Okay? And some it'd be like, oh, it's his mother, his wife, and his other 4 girlfriends. And I'm filling out the cards. So, you know, it's like you seeing all that stuff. I see my uncles tell their women, who are you going to believe, me or your lying eyes? Or, you know, not all my uncles is bad, but I had one in particular that was a little extra. It's just like learning people, and you become aware of their weaknesses. And when you find out people's weakness, it can be very dangerous. That could be very dangerous and lucrative. So I realized that the only person that could save me was me. And I was raised in a Kojic church, and it's just a different world, you know what I'm saying? And it was just all the same. Crooks, adultery, and all kind of stuff. Pastors hitting on girls young like me, you know what I'm saying? You know, just like all this stuff. And just thinking that you call a woman a gold digger when now she's turning into the wolf. Actually, she's been a wolf, because it's just more out because of social media. And you have kept her in survival mode. And now you're talking about her like she's something awful when she's just reflecting you. So, no, she's not a gold digger. There's no such thing as a gold digger. If she have seen her mother abuse, she have seen her mother be the other woman, she has seen her mother go through all these changes, being left out in the cold with nothing, and that little girl and these women said they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna be like their mothers. They're not gonna suffer. So now, that's when all these instincts kick in. Trauma brings an awakening, good and bad. You have to choose. We all had to choose good or bad. Some of us just chose bad. And we hunt men, you know. Women can hunt men just like men hunt women for whatever reason. And a man giving a woman money because he want to provide for her and the kids, I don't see that as being a gold digger. I just see that as being responsible. But it's more to it than money. You have to invest in your kids, or you're gonna have bad karma. So now, even though you had to be in survival mode, ladies, you don't have to stay there. You have to ask for different information. You've gotten the wrong information. Now you have to request for the correct information to live and be happy. And yeah, it may suck to start over. Yeah, it may suck to get down in the trenches and do it, but if you don't, who will? I mean, if you find somebody that's going to be with you and hold you down, that's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But it just seems like they want to make it seem like the men are not there for us, which is not true. They're there for us. The man is there for us. They just take this little small section of the world and they blow it up like this is the way of the world, and it's not. Everybody's not in survival mode. Only maybe 10-15% of y'all are. Okay. I'm not saying it's not poverty, but some men, some women are not selling their bodies, tricking men out of money, setting them up, or doing all these horrendous things that they say we do. They're not doing it. It's only a few percentage of the world. And learn to evolve. Even a whore on the street evolves, okay? So just think of it like this. It's just a life lesson. And who cares if somebody got an opinion? They can't walk in your shoes. It's just, it is what it is. Let me recite these words this wise woman told me one day. She said, I have been every woman you can be. And I used to think about that and what that meant to her. And then I started thinking about what it meant to me and why she said it to me. So, no, there's no such thing as a gold digger. She might be a wolf, not a gold digger. And women are smarter, more calculating, and more detailed in their thinking when they're being deceitful. But why is she like that? Why? If we go back to the parents, and now that some women that are older, if you pass 25, you had to take responsibility of some of your actions. And if not, your kids are gonna have you in therapy talking to you about yourself, and you're not gonna like it. So ask for the correct information, ladies, because you don't have to stay in survival mode. There's too much information out there. Thank you for listening. No gold digger. Ashe.